America back on track. Bill Martinez live.
Remember, that's our mission. That's what it's all about, to get this country back on track. That's when we're, operating on all cylinders and everybody is flourishing as a result of a country that is run by we the people, a government of, for, and by we the people, which means it means that we have to be involved. We cannot let go. And I'm encouraged as a result of the last election in November, because America woke up from its doldrums, and look what we're doing now. And I understand, the whole aspect of politics can be a little bit messy, and especially considering where we came from. But let's bring on Joseph Castleberry here right now, the president of Northwest University, author of New Pilgrims: How Immigrants Are Renewing America's Faith and Values. Joseph, always good to have you with us. How you doing, sir?
Thanks, Bill. It's been several months since I was on the program, and it's great to be back.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. You should be on regularly, because we need your insight and balance here. But as I was alluding to here, Joseph, is, the people kind of woke up, but they're getting a little nervous at the same time and saying, gosh, what did we do here? We elected a non-politician. We said we wanted a non-politician. We wanted somebody from the outside that could really mix things up. And he's mixing things up. So like with 6, you get egg rolls with Trump, so you're getting the whole enchilada, so to speak.
Well, politics is a fine art, and he likes to paint with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's things going on that are exciting and positive, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they work out. And there are other things that definitely give you pause. But it's funny. I read his President Trump's campaign book after he won the election. I thought, hey, these ideas are all right. I mostly agree with this.
Yes.
But his way of communicating can really create division and animosity, and it may be an okay way to get started, but I hope this isn't going to last 4 years, and I don't think it will. I think that a little more maturity and carefulness will eventually emerge.
He might realize he doesn't need to put any more landmines out there than you would normally run into. But I think part of this stuff between you and me, Joseph, I think it's amusement on his part. It's just who he is. I mean, he operates. His whole life has been around hyperbole and headlines and getting attention. And he does that sort of thing. And it's just part of the woof and wharf of and DNA of one Donald Trump. And if you take it personally, you can really drive yourself nuts. It's kind of interesting, from our purview to watch everybody go crazy. I mean, and you get interesting responses to it, particularly the Democrats. I mean, they're a study in sociology, and I imagine a lot of therapists, a lot of would-be psychologists are studying this in the classrooms, because these guys are unhinged. You got a congresswoman out of California, she thinks that she thinks that Putin is invading North Korea now.
Well, it looked like she had not done her homework well and was not not remembering her talking points. She was trying to say Crimea.
Yes.
Crimea would have been correct, but Korea was the only thing she could think of.
Well, I think Nancy Pelosi's, intercom to her earpiece, went a little fuzzy or something. I don't know.
Well, she misses President Bush. She'd like to have him back.
Yeah, exactly. On top of that, too, as well. So it's all kind of humorous, and we can thank Donald Trump for doing that. He kind of bringing out the best and worst. But as you say, hopefully at some point there is convergence here to where it really does start working for the people. And I think, for these initial days, I mean, look what he's done in less than 3 weeks. I mean, he's really turned the Beltway up on its head. And they don't know what to do. I mean, he is so kinetic that they've got to either figure it out. It's I've been saying it's lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Well, I was saying to a student at the university yesterday, revolution is messy, and anybody that thinks that we're going to make real change in the country without breaking some eggs, without making some messes, is just wrong.
Right.
So stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
Controversies are nowhere near at their end.
But like you, I'm like you. There's nothing like success. I mean, that's the best form of revenge. And there are some things that are hovering above head that look successful, that look like things can change. Whether it's on trade, some jobs, things that he's responded to, and you go, whoa. And not that I'm trying to be his PR agent or anything like that. I'm just trying to, like you and many others, not get caught up in the minutia of Donald Trump and between the media and the Democrats, getting all twisted. Because after it's all said and done, Joseph, as you understand, and the way we've lived our lives, is you got to focus ultimately on what's beneficial. Where's the reward in all this? And, if we get caught up in the weeds of all this negativity, that's not going to advance the country. And even set the country aside for a moment. It's not going to advance families, individual families, because this is when it all comes down to it, when it all boils down, it comes down to the individual, family units across this country that have been suffering immensely, particularly over the last 8 years. And you could probably extend it even further, especially when you hear David Stockman's words, who told me quite clearly a couple months back. He just said, Bill, you got to understand, there has not been one net breadwinning job in America since the year 2000. I mean, you had to take a serious pause when you heard that,
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I think if President Trump can succeed in doubling the growth rate of the country, if he could get us from 2% to 4%, all will be forgiven.
Well, it certainly, I believe it can happen. I think he's doing some things already. I mean, we got Keystone up and going. We've got jobs in the waiting here, jobs coming back to America. He's rewarding the right behavior, at least putting it out there. And everybody needs to get on the same page. Forget the fact that, hey, look, I'm sorry if Hillary, for you, is not in the Oval Office. She's not. And for those that want to say he's not my president, get over it. The people voted. It's just the way we work, and we voted. He is our president. So, get behind him. Let's support him. It's not supporting him as much as it is supporting America and Americans, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely so. One of the issues that we need to, all of us, be very conscious of is what is political theater and what does it mean? Both President Trump and the enraged Democrats are both playing theatrical roles. President Trump is rolling out executive orders to prove that he's going to make changes he promised. And the Democrats are rolling in the streets to show that they're not going to put up with it. So all of this is mostly surface stuff. The real thing to watch here is how will President Trump work with the Congress to make long-term changes. We know what government by executive order looks like. You cannot govern this country effectively. You can't solve our problems through executive orders. You've got to pass legislation. You've got to do it through law. And so, obviously, what I'm really hoping is that despite the executive order on immigration and the travel ban and all those things, that what will really happen is that Paul Ryan and Senator McConnell will put together a reform package that will actually make long-term solutions to our problems.
Exactly. Well, that's what we need. We need something clearly sustainable, no doubt about it. Joseph Castleberry, president of Northwest University, is with us. We've got more from Joseph on the other side of the break. Stay with us, America.